What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So OpenAI just released something massive, that is ChatGPT 5.4, and today I'm going to break down everything you need to know about it in the simplest way possible. What is ChatGPT 5.4? What can it actually do? How is it different from previous models, and should you be using it? I've gone through the full technical details, tested it and broken it down slide by slide. So even if you are not a tech person, you are going to understand exactly what the model is capable of. This is the one of the most exciting AI releases of the year, and by the end of this video, you are going to have a complete picture of what ChatGPT 5 and why is everyone talking about it. So without wasting any time, let's straight get into it. So first is ChatGPT 5.4, the all-rounder review. Today we are doing a full honest review of ChatGPT 5.4, OpenAI's brand new AI model. I wanted to be very clear. This is not a hype video. We actually tested it. We looked at what it's good at, what it costs, and most importantly, what are its weaknesses. Because every powerful tool has a downside. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where ChatGPT 5.4 is worth upgrading to or not. Let's get into it. We can take a example here that think of like a smartphone review. A phone can have an amazing camera, but if the battery dies in 3 hours, that matters. Same thing here. ChatGPT 5.4 is powerful, but there are real trade-off we need to talk about. Second is the evolution, context and goal. Codex 5.3 plus ChatGPT 5.0 is equals to ChatGPT 5.4. So first, where did ChatGPT 5.4 come from? Before this, OpenAI had two separate models doing separate jobs. Codex 5.3 was the coding specialist. If you needed to write or debug code, it was the best. And ChatGPT 5.2 was the knowledge model, great at research, web search, answering complex questions. So now ChatGPT 5.4 is Open's AI attempt to combine both into a single model. One AI that can do everything like code, research, reasoning without switching between models. We can take example here that imagine you have a two employees at your company. One is brilliant programmer and the other one is expert researcher. Now your boss says, what if we will find one person who can do both jobs equally well? That's exactly what ChatGPT 5.4 is trying to be. So one person, two skill sets, that's the whole goal. So next is the third party validation. Okay, so does ChatGPT 5.4 actually deliver on that promise according to Artificial Analysis, which is an independent benchmarking lab, not OpenAI's own marketing? Yes, it does. ChatGPT 5.4 is ranked 1 in coding, number 1 in agentic tasks, meaning tasks where the AI works on its own without you babysitting it. And it ties for number 1 in overall intelligence with Google's Gemini. The keyword here is third party. This isn't OpenAI patting itself on the back. Independent testers confirm it. We can take the example here. It's like a student who gets full marks in math, science and English all in one exam. That's genuinely rare. Most AI models are great at one thing. ChatGPT 5.4 scores top across all the three categories, at least based on benchmark, which is the good news. So the bad news comes later. Next is the give native computer use. Now, this is where ChatGPT 5.4 gets really impressive. It has a built-in ability to actually use a computer by itself, not just answer questions, actually control a browser, click things, type, takes screenshots, checks for errors, fix them, and deliver a finished result. They tested this by giving it a one prompt, build me an interactive 3D tower bridge. The AI used a tool called Playwright to control the browser, generated the code, took screenshots to visually verify it worked, caught it own bugs, fixed them, all without the user doing anything. So total time is 1.4 hours. Total prompts needed just 3, completely hands-free. Example we can take here that think of like a hiring a contractor to renovate your bathroom. You tell them what you want, you go to sleep and you wake up to a finished bathroom. They measure everything, fix their own mistake and deliver the result. You didn't have to supervise a single step. That's what ChatGPT 5.4 is doing here, but for software development. Next is the give dynamic tool search. 47% token reduction, zero accuracy, year loss. Here's a more technical feature, but it's a real smart one. When agent works with a lot of tools, things like API, databases, different software, the old approach was to load all of that information into the AI's memory at the very beginning. Now the problem, it wastes memory and slows everything down. ChatGPT 5.4 solves this with something like dynamic tool search. Instead of loading 50 tools upfront, it starts with a simple lightweight. Then mid conversation, it only fetches the specific tool it actually needs from an external index. Now you will get the result as 47% fewer tokens used and zero loss in accuracy. So tested across 36 different MCP servers. I can give you one example. Imagine a chef who dumps every ingredient from the kitchen onto the counter before starting to cook. Flour, eggs, chili, chocolate, fish, everything. That's the old approach. So ChatGPT 5.4 is the smart chef who keeps the counter clean, reads the recipe and only walks to the pantry to grab exactly what's needed at that moment. So let's clutter same great dish and half the cost. Next is the take, the latency penalty. Okay, now for the bad news, this is the big one that you need to know before you pay for this model. ChatGPT 5.4 is slow, not a little slow, just dead last slow. When you compare it with competitor A, B, C on two key speed test, how long it takes to start responding and how long it takes to generate 500 words. So ChatGPT 5.4 loses both. Every single competitor is faster. The conclusion from the audit is this, that ChatGPT 5.4 either thinks longer before responding or it just processes slower. Either way, it is the most sluggish top tier AI model available right now. Example I can give you, you know that one friend in your WhatsApp group, someone asks a question, everyone replies in 2 seconds. But this one friend takes 45 seconds to type. And when they finally send it, the answer is actually really good. But by then the conversation has moved on. That's the ChatGPT 5.4, smart but slow. And if you are building a real-time app or chatbot where users expect instant responses, this is a serious problem. Next is the fast mode dilemma. So OpenAI does offer a solution called fast mode. Sounds perfect, right? Finally, you get speed, but here's the catch. Fast mode charges you double the price for 1.45x the speed. And the important thing to understand is that isn't a smarter or more efficient version of the model. Nothing about the architecture change. You have literally just paying more jump to the front of the queue. The slide puts it perfectly. Fast mode is not an optimized architecture. It's a priority tier. You're paying double by past the slowness, not to fix it. Example we can take here it's exactly like airport fast track security. You pay extra for the first lane, but the security process itself is identical. Same back scan, the same shoe removal, the same everything. You just keep the key. That's all fast mode is. You are not getting a better product. You are just paying to avoid waiting. Next is the API pricing matrix plus the context tags. Now let's talk about money because this is where things get really serious for developers and businesses. The base model costs $2.50 per million input tokens and $15 per million output tokens. That's already on the expensive side. But the pro model $30 per million input and $180 per million output. So that's a massive jump. And then this is the hidden trap. That is what this slide calls the context text. If your conversation or document goes beyond 2,72,000 tokens, every single input token after that point is billed at double the normal rate. So if you are processing large code databases like long documents or extended conversation, your cost can multiply very fast without even realizing it. Now just we will take an example. Imagine a restaurant where the first 10 dishes are normal price, but if you order at 11 dish, the waiter comes back and says, "Great, and by the way, we are now charging double for everything you already ordered too." That's the context. It's a sneaky penalty that compounds if you are not careful. So developers need to actively manage and compress their context to avoid this trap. Next is UI generation weakness. Here's the weakness that caught a lot of people by surprise. When you ask ChatGPT 5.4 to design a website or a UI, the results are honestly disappointing. Look at this comparison. On the left is Cloud Opus 4.6. It produces a clean structure, wide frame for a cafe website. Clear output, clear hierarchy, professional. On the right side, ChatGPT 5.4 version. It's a blurry, gradient heavy, frosted glass design that honestly looks like every generic AI output you have ever seen. Lots of color, no structure. And this isn't just our opinion. ChatGPT 5.4 ranked extremely low on Design Arena, which is an independent design evaluation platform. Example we can take here is that it's like asking two designers to make a logo. The first one creates something clean, bold and purposeful. The second one just put a gradient on everything, adds some blur effect and called it modern. ChatGPT 5.4 is the gradient guy when it comes to front-end design. If UI generation is completely important for your work, this is a real limitation to be aware of. Next is the system verdict, the upgrade calculation. Here is the final recommendation. So, all right, final verdict time. Let's put it all on the table. The gives what you get with ChatGPT 5.4 are real smarter, general reasoning, extended autonomous operation for hands-off tasks, and very efficient dynamic tool use. The takes what you sacrifice are also real. It's the slowest top tier model on the market. Then the Pro API pricing is enormous. There is an aggressive cost penalty after 2,72,000 tokens, and the UI design output is weak. So who should upgrade? The final recommendation is clear. If you are a Codex 5.3 power user or a backend developer building hands-off autonomous agents, this is a definitive upgrade for you. But and this critical, go in with strict context management. Otherwise, your token cost will spiral fast. Example here, think of it like upgrading from a regular car to a powerful SUV. It can do more, go further, handle tougher terrain, but it drinks more fuel. If you regularly drive long distances and need that capability, absolutely worth it. But if you are just going short daily commutes, the fuel bill probably isn't justified. Know your use case before you upgrade. So guys, that ChatGPT 5.4 completely broken down for you, and honestly this model is a game changer. It codes like a pro, it works on its own without touching anything. It's ranked number 1 in coding, number 1 in agentic tasks, and ties for number 1 in intelligence. That is seriously impressive for one single model. The bottom line is this: if you are a developer, a business owner, or something who uses AI for heavy tasks every single day, so ChatGPT 5.4 is absolutely worth for you. This is the future of AI and it's available right now. So I hope this video helped you understand exactly what ChatGPT 5.4 is and what it can actually do for you. So guys, that's ChatGPT 5.4 completely broken down for you. And honestly, this model is a game changer. It codes like a pro, it works on its own without touching anything. It's ranked number 1 in coding, number 1 in agentic tasks, and ties for number 1 in intelligence. That is seriously impressive for one single model. So the bottom line is that if you are a developer, a business owner, or someone who uses AI for heavy tasks every single day, ChatGPT 5.4 is absolutely worth it. This is the future of AI and it's available right now. So I hope this video helped you understand exactly what ChatGPT 5.4 is and what it can do for you. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want AI training or one-to-one AI consulting, so I have provided my mail ID in comment and in also in description. So you can mail me on that. Thank you.